Hey my anime people, welcome back to the channel. It's Logan as always, bringing the latest in anime and Japanese film, and today we're going over should you watch The Great Pretender. And to start things off, I want to talk about the good stuff of The Great Pretender, what I really liked. This anime series is first and foremost a love letter to pop culture and 1970s crime heist films. The opening is literally just screaming 1970s intros. I loved it, and I loved the music that came with it. It was a really good mix of pop and jazz and sometimes rap. I mean, they go back and forth, and I really enjoyed the music, the pop culture, and the references. I mean, they even referenced Akira Kurosawa and Mifune in the film, so I really appreciate that, and as a film geek, I geek over that, and I think that's really cool, and I definitely think that's one of the strongest points of this series. Also, I want to talk about the fact that this anime series, it has guts, it has some gall. It's going for some lofty goals, and even though it doesn't always stick the landing, not every case is as good as the other, I appreciate that they had, you know, this international cast of characters that speak different languages at times. Like, you know, sometimes they're speaking French, they might do English, and you know, the quality varies here and there, but I really appreciate the fact that it's a very international anime, and you don't see that very often. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a lot of anime that deal with other countries and interacting with people from different backgrounds. That's cool, and I'd really like to see more anime, you know, branching out and trying that. And yeah, I'd like to see that more, and I thought it was cool, even though it's not always perfect. And going from there, I'm gonna get into some of the negative. These are some of the things I didn't like about The Great Pretender. And to start things off with some of the negative, the series is broken into sections that are labeled as cases. And to just be frank, some of the cases are better done than others. Like, I really enjoyed the second case going into Abby's backstory and the turmoil and chaos that she's been through. But then you compare that to the first case, it's more of just like an introduction of characters. And I'd say the third case, while not being terrible, is kind of immature when you jump from Abby's backstory and the violence that she's been through, and you compare it to the third story. It's really just not as well done. And that's another thing. The Great Pretender kind of has a problem with tone. If I had to compare it to anything, think about A.E. Titan. Back in the 2000s, if you remember that, A.E. Titan had a really big problem with tone. How it jumped from violence to kid-themed storylines, and it's like, what tone are you doing? It would go from a scene like this
Who's your daddy?
to this. And The Great Pretender suffers from the same issue. It'll start off with something that's kind of lighthearted and easygoing, and then it'll cut to a couple junkies that have OD'd in a van, and it's like, geez, you just did a complete 180 from the tone you had just a minute ago. So that's one of my biggest drawbacks with The Great Pretender. But having said that, I still found a lot to like about the series, to gravitate towards. The music, the pop culture, the themes, the international cast. These are things that kept me invested and why I was able to really enjoy this series. Should you watch The Great Pretender? Yes. Yeah, like I said, not the most perfect anime series, but I really enjoyed it. I'd like to see more anime set in different locations and a little bit ambitious like this one, but yeah. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you thought about The Great Pretender in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. And if you haven't already, definitely like and subscribe. Take care wherever you are in this world. I know it's a crazy world out there. But yeah, take care, my anime people. I hope you're doing well, and definitely be safe. All right, peace out, people.